You look at the economy so far, Rufas, the SME is really struggling to get that stability they need right now. What would cushion them as we speak? We have the Hustler Fund that the President talked about.
Yes.
That will have to go through some legislative processes for it to be disbursed to the relevant consumers. But the SMEs, who are the biggest contributors in the economy, what can be done with an immediate effect just to uplift them so that at the end of the day we have got some good living?
Good question here. When you look at the SMEs, over the past, let's say, 10 years, the last one administration's tenure, we have had a big challenge, and the challenge is clear. It's state capture, where the persons at the top capture all the resources that are instrumental to building capital. So when you look at the SMEs and what they really need, it's a couple of things. One, for instance, if you look at the Millennium Development Goals, you look at the Vision 2030, it's anchored around a couple of things. First is infrastructure. We saw infrastructure being implemented very well. We have a wide network of roads, so distribution channels are working really well. Our telecommunication networks are working well. If you look at Safaricom, has a big reach to any part of the country. Then when you look at financing, that's where our real challenge is. Previously, we had the rate caps. The rate caps were really tough. The commercial banks couldn't lend to the SMEs. Then we saw another big monster happening within the country, where the government had more appetite for debt compared to the SMEs. So there's money. Everything is funded by savings. So there's money lying around in savings, but the government wants this money more than the SMEs and more than the people. So you find that commercial banks would lend more to the government, and this was at some good rates, 12.5% in the last infrastructure bond. So why would the government give you, Victor, a loan at 14%, considering the risk in the market, versus giving that money to the government? So you found that commercial banks were lending more money to the government, crowding out the SMEs. So the SMEs will not have access to finance. So
continue.
So that was one part of the problem we are having in this country. So these SMEs were forced to operate within lower tier financial institutions. So instead of going to a commercial bank, they would probably go to a SACCO, where they would organize themselves. And if you have savings, here are savings, then we pull them together, and then the SACCO gives that as a loan to one of the contributors. So in that case, they would have some level of financing, but still that wasn't enough, because if the SACCO is lending from a pool, then it means that once one person gets a loan, then you don't get the loan until I repay.
So which means that really affected the lending rates at the commercial banks?